violence. Because make no mistake, sit down, you'll hear what I have to say. You think you what do you think about that? Okay? Because make no mistake about it.
Because make no mistake about it, I am not going to discuss what the smartest man I know did that was very dumb by recording everything negative that he's ever done on camera and storing it in a computer that in a crack-induced haze he turned over to a repair shop and never picked up. A computer, by the way, as Senator Ron Johnson told us, that the FBI's had in their possession for over 2 years, and nothing's ever been done about it. Fascinating, isn't it? Sean Themea, our guest this morning, Chief of Staff at Young Americans for Liberty. You can't do the flip test on that one, Sean, can you?
No, you cannot. I mean, a wise man once said, stupid is as stupid does, and you're seeing it play out in live time right here.
Well, I looked at this picture yesterday of Hunter Biden with his arms wrapped around a scantily clad woman with a crack pipe in his hand, and I'm thinking, if that was Don Trump Jr., the mainstream media would have had this on the front page of every newspaper and web page and broadcast for the past 24 months.
I completely agree. I mean, the hypocrisy in the media is greater than ever before. You see it on display right here. As far as the Hunter Biden leak goes, I don't think that that's flipping anybody who was, on the fence or a Republican, to turn more against Biden. I think this hurts him most internally. I mean, they've been propping this guy up, trying to make him look like he knows what he's doing, that his policies will be working. But this is a credibility hit that I think is going to get the Democratic Party to turn in against him. I mean, we hear about progressive groups already talking about launching a Don't Run Joe campaign after the midterms. So, when you lose credibility, you lose everything. So I think that's going to hurt him the most with his own party.
Yeah, somebody asked him yesterday about his poll numbers. It's pretty obvious that young Democrats, in a poll of just Democrats, young Democrats, 94% didn't want him to run again. Even the overall majority of Democrats are disappointed, and they're certainly not looking forward to a Kamala Harris candidacy either, because they've already rejected her once.
Precisely. And, I hear it from the students on college campuses all the time. It's one of the ironic things that's uniting, disaffected conservative students as well as the far-left progressive students on these campuses. They do not want Joe Biden to be president after 2024, or even today. So he's losing support within his hardcore base. He's losing support within his mainstream base. He definitely didn't have the support of people who opposed him from day one. So the Joe Biden constituency, I think it's a party of one. I think it's just Hunter.
Well, it's a good point. So today, this is what I wonder when it comes to young conservatives, for example. When these CPI numbers come out, the inflation is a very much a regressive tax almost on people who have less money. Traditionally, younger people have less money than older people. I wonder what if people are young people even paying any attention to these issues? Like the CPI numbers come out this morning. Inflation's going to be still well above 8%. May set a new record. Is this carrying any water with young voters?
It is. Young Americans for Liberty, we've been talking about inflation for years, and now it's finally becoming real to young people, right? It's more than just an economic concept that Henry Hazlitt talked about, right? They're seeing that, hey, I can't afford to live in some cities because the rent is so dang high. Yeah. I can't afford to fill up my car. It's not even worth going to work if I'm driving too far to fill up my tank to get there, right? And Biden and the Democrats, talk about a lack of strategy. They're not even hiding their plan to keep gas prices expensive, saying, we need to sacrifice and do whatever it takes for Ukraine. Talk about out of touch. No young person wants to go fight and die owed to Eastern Europe, or at the minimum, pay at the pump for Eastern Europe. I mean, they're just trying to live. So, yes, inflation is definitely hitting young Americans hard. They're aware of it, and they're blaming the Democrats.
Yeah, and what can people find at yaliberty.org?
They will find the only group on campuses that recruits young people, introduces them to the ideas of liberty. You know, myself, I'm a former progressive, came into college swinging Democrat, and I left a hardcore conservative. We're the only group that reaches students on campus, but then also gets them involved in the political process. In fact, we got students that are knocking doors in Missouri right now for good state representative candidates. So turning out the vote for good folks across the country at the state level.
Glad to hear it. yaliberty.org is the website. Sean Themea, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to get you on. Gives you hope for the future when you've got folks that are getting involved at a young age like that and understand they see their liberty slipping away. There's absolutely no doubt about that.